Here are three tips for how to travel after a breakup and to not feel lonely or be by yourself all the time. The first is stay in hostels. So I know what you might be thinking. Sometimes people think I'm too old to stay in a hostel. Well, guess what, guys? I'm 47 and I still stay in hostels. Hostels are a great place to have the social interactions. If you stay in a dormitory room, you have 4 to 6 to 8 to 10, sometimes 12 other people that you can talk to way more easily. And the other thing is, hostels often have, breakfast or a common kitchen or a common game room or a restaurant or a bars. Many of them have, happy hours or they have group activities, dinners, whatever. And it makes it a lot easier to talk to people. So if you're one of those people who's like, okay, I don't want to stay in a hostel because I'm too old or I don't, want to share my room, okay, that's fine. Then, you can be in an Airbnb, but a lot of times it's more isolating. What a lot of people don't realize, especially people in their 40s like me, is you could stay in your own room at a lot of hostels. You just need to check when you use booking.com or Hostel World or whatever to see if they have individual rooms. Having an individual room, sometimes the shared bathroom, is still a way that you can have your privacy while enjoying all of the social benefits of staying in a hostel. So the second thing is do group activities. So what I mean by this is usually I always start in every city with Stan Demand's free walking tour. Now there's many other companies obviously that are fine. That one happens to be my favorite. I've done it in Paris. I've done the one in Prague for five different times. I did New York City, London, Edinburgh. So the important thing is you just walk around with them for 1 to 3 hours. There's usually lots of different people, and it tends to attract people who are traveling by themselves, and you just leave a tip at the end. So a lot of times, people will even go out and have lunch together after the tour or a dinner or meet up later. I've met so many people like this just because I found, there were some other people traveling by themselves, and we all said, hey, let's exchange numbers, and why don't we meet up for dinner at 8? Or somebody would be like, hey, I'm going to go check out a museum right now. Does anybody want to join? And if you just get out a little bit outside of your shell and your comfort zone, you'll find that so many people traveling by themselves are really, really open to meeting new people. So that's one thing that I really like to do. The other thing is food tours, things like, for example, Spanish tapas tours if you're in Barcelona. Or, there might be a wine tour or a beer tour. I did one beer tour in Prague 2 days in a row just because I had such a good time. I met lots of new people. We had dinner. And it was a really great way to, be social while I was traveling by myself. The third thing is check Facebook groups. You might not think about this, but on Facebook, there are tons and tons of different groups, especially for just women travelers, where it's, women who are wanting to meet up in other cities, people who are traveling by themselves, people looking for travel buddies, people who are, already in another city and they're just looking for somebody who wants to go out for dinner or grab a drink or whatever. And it's a really helpful way. There are also many apps. I personally have not had very good luck with these apps. I don't use them much, but with Facebook groups, I've definitely found people that we ended up hanging out and having dinner and everything, and it was great. So, do you have any questions about traveling by yourself? I'll be doing my next one on safety tips, so make sure to check back on my series of like how to travel after a breakup and different tips and pointers to make your trip more enjoyable as you heal, as you have a bit of adventure, and as you have a bit of a new perspective. Okay, see you guys next time.